least one of us graduated.
Anyway, there we go. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, there you go.
And you know, you've done a lot of cool stuff, so you don't have to graduate to do cool things, do you?
Stay in school, kids.
Here's two other things.
Because now I'm doing this shitty interview, you know?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you just waiting on us now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching and learning.
You're gonna have to watch a long time, my friend. Hello, people of the world. Welcome back to another episode of the Sam Sessions. We're back here in the acoustic A room of South Austin Music once again. You got the world's worst interviewer right here, and to my left, longtime friend, great customer of the shop, Jason McMaster, Pastor McMaster, Church of Disaster.
That's what some say.
Some say?
Mm-hmm.
So you got ordained as a priest, right?
Not a priest. I just went online and got ordained so I could hang out with my friends and sign their marriage certificates.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Would you officiate my wedding if I asked?
It depends.
Because
I've kind of retired from the pulpit.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I've, see, what can I say? I don't really do that shit anymore.
I get that. That makes more sense to me. Now you're talking my language.
I've done some amazing officiate at weddings, and one of them, the best man, I married the singer, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us, Bruce Corbett and his wife, Gina, and the best man was Philip Anselmo, the singer of Pantera.
Oh.
That was the best man.
Wow.
And the microphone was on stage, of course, and one of my bands played. One of my band Evil United, actually played after the ceremony. And
that's an ironic name for
Bruce,
a band at a wedding.
Bruce, not where I'm from. The microphone that I used was the half stand, which is like a welded anchor chain. Mm-hmm. It's the links are like this big. It's like a welded anchor chain, with a mic, with the mic clip on it. It's Bruce is the groom's actual microphone that he uses when he sings in Rigor Mortis. And then Philip Anselmo from Pantera standing right next. It was the sickest heavy metal wedding. Yeah, I don't know if
the weddings are already the best party.
I don't know if any of
they're the best already.
Yeah,
and then you throw in those guys.
Yeah.
And you have you officiating.
Yeah. Anyway, there's been some humdingers.
Yeah, humdingers.
Yeah, and then there's been some where, like Brian, who used to work here at the shop, but we just had dinner up the street, and I read some passages at the dinner table, just us three, and then I just signed their certificate. It wasn't even a ceremony.
Really? I
thought that was badass. I thought that was really mellow and sweet.
Yeah,
To just be hanging out with the bride and groom going, wow, this is an honor. This is special. Just having some wine, candlelit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no pressure.
Cool.
No pressure.
Zero pressure.
That's nice.
One of the reasons that I have retired from the pulpit, because of the pressure.
You don't do
because I want to do a good job. I want to
do
a real good job, and when it's not the way they like it, or if, what if you mess that up royally?
Yeah,
you don't want to do that. So I always tell them, well, I might wear leather pants, take off my shirt, and yell Slayer. And if your grandma is expecting Jesus and crosses, I might not be your guy.
Or grandma enjoys it more than she thought she would.
Well, if that's what the bride and groom tell me, I take their money.
That's a sweet gig. I mean,
but I've only done maybe 10, 15 weddings anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe
you're gonna have to do 16 when I'm ready, because I want you wearing leather pants.
Maybe I'll come out of retirement to do
just for me, man.
Okay. Do you have a girlfriend?
Awesome. No. Well, yes.
Oh, good.
Shit, I'm in trouble. We gotta cut
that. Edit that out. Here, let's do it again. Hold on. Let's do it again. You ready?
Yeah.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Love of my life. She's the best.
Awesome. I met her earlier. Shy? Is that her?
Yeah. No, that's
awesome.
The dog. Golly. We gotta keep that in, whether I get in trouble or not. I want to go way back real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
The thing is I have absolute horrible memory.
Can I tell you something about this room? We're on hollowed ground right now. So right about where you were was where Mark Gary's drum kit was. This wall was back that way a little bit, and I used to stand right here. There was a hallway. Yeah, that's the hallway. And this room was bigger that way, maybe. I'm not making it up.
These walls have definitely changed. That wall has to have been here since the beginning.
Okay,
because the massage parlor was
was the door. Well, after the massage parlor, Dangerous Toys wrote like 3 records in this room.
No shit.
Mark's kit was there. I stood over there. Bass amp, couple of guitar amps.
Legendary.
Right here in this room.
Legendary.
1932? No. 1992.
Really?
92.
I got the 2 right. That's crazy. That is, in all seriousness, that's legendary. You know, I was taking it back.
Wrote some great fucking songs, right?
I know you did. And Dangerous Toys was one of my first concerts I ever remember going to.
Wow.
Definitely too young for it. I had the earplugs in.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, holy crap, this is really, really loud.
Well, for those watching and listening, if they think that you have brain damage, you just confess why.
And they do think so.
Yeah, I mean, I already know that most people listening and watching, they know I have brain damage already. So.
Yeah.
They just didn't know that I could pass it on.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate it because life is more fun with a little bit of damage in the brain, I think.
That's the t-shirt. Welcome to South Austin Music. Get your brain damage right here.
You were my early, I have very early memories with you, and I don't have very many early memories, but a lot of them include you. One of the first ones being is you're the first person I ever remember seeing with full sleeve tattoos.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not real. Okay. You know, I had some erased, obviously.
And did you really?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say. So to me,
these freckles must be what you confuse.
Well, no, but at my age, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
At my age, even that was a sleeve to me.
I didn't have this when you were a little guy.
You had tattoos for sure.
I had tattoos, not sleeves.
What? Did you always want tattoos? Were you like jumped on it instantly?
No, I don't. I like artwork. Mm-hmm. It's not about body modification to me, and it is for some people. Mm-hmm. I love the stories that tattoos tell. Here's kind of a redneck way to kind of look at how I feel about tattoos, because the origin of tattoos, it's about your family history. It's about lineage, and like if you were a farmer or something, you would have that would be portrayed.
Yeah.
If you see what I'm saying, if you were a blacksmith, same idea.
Yeah, you put it on the skin.
Yeah. And it's a body piece because it's a lineage. It goes and goes and goes. I feel like, this is my redneck analogy of it. I feel like if you are in one of those RVs or a pop-up trailer or something and you see all those stickers, Ohio, Idaho, and you see the little state stickers across the back, Good Sam's Club and shit, KOA camp, stuff like that. Those are places that you've been and you've camped and you've destroyed with a campfire and a 6-pack or your family and marshmallows and s'mores and climbed a mountain and yay and tourist thing. But the back of that bumper sticker is a slew of memories, right?
Yeah.
So I think tattoos should have some kind of, know where you were when you got that and what possessed you to get that. Like I was in New Orleans and I wanted to get a tattoo because I don't go to New Orleans very often, and I wanted to be able to say, I got this in New Orleans, and you can reflect.
The one tattoo I have so far, I got, I can't talk about it. Because I got it the day I graduated, and that's come up. That's obviously the highest accomplishment to this day. I've talked about my day of graduation, I think, 4 times now on these interviews.
For sure. Yeah.
As soon as I was about to start saying it, I was like, there's no way I can bring that up again.
Well, at least
I do know where I got my first tattoo.
At least one of us graduated.
There we go. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, there you go.
And you've done a lot of cool stuff, so you don't have to graduate to do cool things, do you?
Stay in school, kids.
Here's two other things.
Because now I'm doing this shitty interview. You know? This is what dropping out will get you. It'll get you. You got to hang out with this guy.
Right in this fucking chair with the world's worst interviewer. Gotta love it.
Actually, I did have a question for Jason, just more of an opinion thing, if you want to phrase it. Because my biggest curiosity, because you were in like the heyday of, I feel like there's live music and also just in general, like obviously now I'll keep all that stuff. I always kind of find it funny these days that what's modern is opener, headliner, closer. Versus what I feel is it true that it used to be opener, headliner? There's no bands after it. Was that like a normal? Was that a standard at like clubs and stuff, or was it like opener, headliner, closer? Does that make sense?
Well, the closer and the headliner, just in my glossary, seem to be the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's different these days.
Guests, special guests. You know. Support act.
Yeah. Okay.
Special guest, main support, headliner.
Gotcha. So how do you feel about like the now norm, like in any club usually is support, headliner, closer?
Oh, you mean the coveted middle slot?
Yeah, the coveted middle slot.
The coveted middle slot. That is people of a certain age wanting to play at 9 or 10 instead of 7 or 8 or midnight or 1.
Mm-hmm.
So the coveted middle slot, I can't really agree that I would even say, oh, that's the headliner slot. Unless you're going to actually call the band that's playing last playing cleanup. Last call.
Yeah.
Your band's on stage and the lights are on and there's a guy mopping the floor. That stinks.
Yeah.
No thanks. So I'd rather play dinner time when people are mad because they missed half your set because they just got off of work and they're late and they couldn't find parking and they walk in after they pay full price and they see your last fucking song. So that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then that middle, see what I mean? Middle slot or can't do it.
Yeah.
We'll play for less money if you give us the middle slot. See what I mean?
Yeah. Got it. But
Has to be. I'm giving people ideas here.
I was gonna say because you wouldn't consider that as like a headliner though, like the middle slot.
No, in a club,
Yeah.
there's no headliner unless it's a touring act. It's a touring package.
Okay.
There's no headliner unless there's a talent buyer on board and that's a major tour. If you go to the merch table and the backs of the shirts have 100 dates printed on them, it's obvious who the headliner is.
Because that's a not a question. That's a common comment I usually get, or a question like, oh, "Who's the headliner tonight?" And there's no touring bands, so there's not really one.
So if it's the local watering hole,
Yeah.
the headliner is who's playing, who is head. Here you go. If it's a show poster you're looking at, and it's someone really awesome who has good draw around here, and their name's big as fuck, and then it'll have something smaller and fine print. Oh, and so is going to play at midnight.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
I've seen that in like music towns, Chicago, Nashville, Austin,
Sure.
whatever, where it's like that.
Yeah.
And that's a club show. Oh, there's music after. Y'all can stay. There's music still going on. Yeah, but we missed the headliner. That's what I see where you're going.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got two more things that happened super early on in my life. One, I was obsessed with Spider-Man, and you gifted me this giant Spider-Man poster from the movie Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Coolest thing ever. And you gave me my first ever wallet, and it had a chain from the wallet to a loop that attached to the belt loop. So this is stuff I never forgot. And my question to you is, what guitar were you trying to get from my dad?
I'm the cool uncle.
You are.
You just gifted me the title of cool uncle.
Coolest. The coolest uncle. But so what I'm saying is it like really just a natural, like, like you just like being like giving gifts, you know, or like
Elvis gave cars away and shit. I
Yeah.
have given cars.
Have you really?
Yeah, a friend moved to town. I gave my guitar player, actually, Paul Idell, who still plays in the Toys with me and helped me start Broken Teeth. Paul, he moved to town from the East Coast and didn't have a car. I gave him a car.
Damn. So it's all out of love.
Here, you want this piece of shit? You know what I mean? It's more, yeah. I don't need this car anymore. You please take it off my hands. It's easier to be nice to someone than it is to not be nice to someone.
Of course. Did you know, like at the time when you were giving me that stuff, that it was like something I'd remember at, now?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were going to be some brat kid or what.
Well, we all know now.
No idea.
We all got that part figured out.
No, I think you turned out all right, man.
Yeah. Just all right, though.
Yeah.
Like right there at that baseline,
Yeah, I didn't want to, make you feel too much
Can't say
pressure.
great.
I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
That's for sure. How many guitars have you gotten through the shop over the years?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. My best memory of getting two different Gibson SGs. They were Firebrand.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember those Firebrands? And they both said Firebrand. The wood burned. The logo was Gibson logo and shit was wood burned into the headstock.
Okay.
And then I had another Firebrand that was actually not like the wood grain style. It was red, and makes me think somebody painted it. And it's the reason I still called it a Firebrand is because the truss rod cover said Firebrand on it, not Woodburn. But anyway, those two SGs, I love those things, and unfortunately, I don't. I needed money, I'd sell them.
You don't have.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I do have a couple of basses that I got here years ago, you know, and I got a 5-string Stingray in about 1999 or 2000.
Do you still have that one?
No, I sold it to Nick Doughton.
Oh,
because it's a black. It was beautiful, but it was like a $1,300 bass, 5-string, and I was playing that in Godzilla Motor Company, and it just after the band kind of took a break for 25 years, it was sat around a lot, so I sold it to Nick Doughton.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I was reading reviews about you. It was either like comments on YouTube or reviews online. But I saw this one more than once. I think I saw it like 3 or 4 times. It says that you make strangers feel like friends. Do you feel that way, that you're able to like just meet people for the first time ever and kind of make them feel comfortable?
If I like you, you'll know it in the first meeting. If I like you and want to be close to you, you'll know it. I'll either make you really uncomfortable because I'm right? Or you'll get it and you'll know that I have a heart.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
I don't look at it. I don't think that, I don't go around reading articles about me or interviews or.
Well, you don't strike me as the kind of guy that does, It doesn't seem like you're someone who's like self-conceited.
When you say that that's a popular item that I make strangers into friends, I could see that, because if I think that you're kind of rotten, it makes you're easier to ignore.
Yeah, I hear you. What do you think about this photo right here?
This was taken at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood, California, in June of 1989. Our record had just come out.
The memory on this one.
And the label Columbia Records, which I don't believe had yet been bought by Sony yet. There was a merger about to happen. I think this was pre-merger.
Yeah.
And
was this before his song School?
Oh no. School's Out is from the 70s, my son.
Okay.
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Yeah,
way. That's okay. Way before
I'm doing my best back here, I gotta keep up with these guys.
You're
it's
all right.
Insane sometimes.
You're all right. You're okay. I'm just that nerd that reads the fine print. Remember?
Yeah.
So okay, so the label bought bought the room out and gave away the tickets on the radio. The radio station was called KNAC.
Yeah.
And it was a real radio station. They played records, you know. It wasn't like a robot that did it.
Yeah.
And really awesome. And covered all of Southern California. And they were playing the shit out of our record. And so it was a good idea. But it wasn't just our show. We headlined the night, but there was a bunch of CBS. We were on Columbia Records. Columbia and Epic, for example, those were under the umbrella of CBS Records, which was bought like literally just a few months later or 6 months later by Sony. Anyway, so there was a bunch of new artists who were either having records released soon or had just released records within that quarter, like ours. And so the bill was made up of all these bands. And like the big wigs from the label were at the gig and hanging out with us and on the stage announcing that kind of emceeing the event, and there was champagne and everything, right? I was this is taken in the dressing room upstairs.
That's crazy.
So I'm like shaking out these old stinky leather pants that I wore on stage every night, and you can't wash leather pants. So literally I'm going crotch rot, and I'm holding these pants in my hand, and someone walks up to me and puts their whispers in my ear. Alice Cooper is on his way up the stairs, and they held me like I was gonna faint, and I was like. And I'm holding my stinky leather pants, and I'll never forget the moment that someone said, Alice Cooper's on his way up the stairs. So, and I turn around holding my skivvies, and Alice Cooper just walks in the room, and I'm like, and I think was told that night that, the song Scared on that record that was brand new was dedicated to Alice. And it was kind of cool being there that we sort of debuted in Los Angeles, Hollywood, with Alice Cooper in the room, and we're about to play the song that we dedicated to him on the record. Knowing that he's in the room, I'm going, we dedicated this to Alice on the record, and he's fucking in the room right now, So it was just surreal.
Yeah.
That's what I remember when
Incredible.
That's what I think.
Do you remember having like a good bit of nerves for that, or did you feel just too hyped up?
I had done it. I had been, I'm more comfortable on stage with the microphones. Cathartic is like therapy. If you're like a nervous person, which I kind of am naturally, you wouldn't know it because, if you spin me around and make sure I got some batteries in me, I have a microphone, I'll perform.
Yeah.
I'll entertain as best I can.
Yeah.
And as soon as I learned that about myself, I wasn't a shy kid anymore. Or I didn't. It helped the shy go away.
Yeah.
And I think rock and roll kind of saved the shy kid.
That's awesome.
And I think anyone who plays music gets that.
Yeah. You're
because
not the only
they have a voice now. It's where without music you don't really have that voice. You're not born with that voice, and you find something that's your thing. Mine was music.
Did you ever have like a vocalist coach?
No.
Just went at it from the start?
No, I never. The most beautiful thing is about becoming a singer, because I started off a bass player. I think most people around here might know that. Maybe not.
I
knew that. My first bass, when I moved to Austin from Corpus Christi in 1980, I was a bass player. I didn't have singing to get that microphone away from me,
Yeah.
And now I can't put it down. Now I'm just a
really grew on
ham, I'm a total ham.
So Elton John is one of your big inspirations, right?
Huge.
And that would be kind of hard to tell if you only heard your music. Is that...
Well, you haven't heard my Elton John tribute band or my country songs.
So which one would that be?
Or my Christmas music. And those are influenced by Elton John.
You have country songs?
Yeah, I
as
write
well?
country songs and Christmas songs. Yeah.
When did you start doing the country songs, and are you still doing it?
I was asked by a friend of mine who's a cock rocker and
Cock rocker, that's
wanted to make a country record. And he said he was already doing one of my songs on his record. It's a toy song, but it lends itself to a country song very well. That was already going to be on the record. He's like, man, you got any more like that? You know, and I was like, no, but it was like right during lockdown.
Oh.
And I said, let me see what I can muster. And I wrote my first country song about my wife. It's called Baby Bird.
Oh.
And it's awesome.
That's cool.
I'm so proud of it.
That's
and I've
so
written
cool.
like 4 or 5 more since then.
Yeah.
And eventually I'll make a record. I'll make a country record. But I love it.
Yeah.
And you know how fucking hard it is to write a good country song?
Well, yeah. If you're
And I'm
trying to
not
stay
talking,
away
you
from
know, Nashville, shorts and beer in a truck and whiskey drinking down on a Saturday night. You know, fuck all that.
Yeah,
Fuck that shit.
That's what I'm saying. If you stay away from the cliche.
I just like farted that out. So if you think, and sometimes that's what people like.
Yeah.
And I understand that. Because
Whatever
people are
floats your
kind of
boat.
sheep. But when you try to put some head into it and you're trying to put some things in there that sort of feel something when you, whether it's funny or, you know, sad or, you know, emotional.
Thought-provoking.
Emotional. Yeah, emotional. Those are important when you're writing country songs because you're fairly naked. You're not hiding and, you know, you're not hiding behind loud distortion and screaming.
Where can I find your country music?
It's not released.
Not released yet?
Yeah, you can look up Baby Bird under Tyler Heath. That's the kid's name.
Okay.
Tyler Heath, and you can listen to his version of Baby Bird.
Jeez. Well, I'm looking forward to being able to hear that.
Yeah, I want you to hear my version.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No offense to Tyler Heath.
No, that's what I meant. Is I'm looking forward to being able to hear your country.
And you know me, I think that it'll hit you a little different.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely want to hear your country music because I mean, from Broken Teeth to Dangerous Toys, you know, all the way back to what was it, Watchtower?
I was in a band called Watchtower
That was
for
one of your
almost a
earliest.
decade previously to, and that was like a technical thrash. That was like Mahavishnu Orchestra meets Rush on 78 speed on a record player. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Thank you.
Super, just fast, weird technical time changes and kind of angry about the weird world we lived in back then, which was we're ahead of our time, lyrically and musically for sure. Yeah. Anyway, and then I've always, you know, I love rock and roll, so you know. Give me some AC/DC and some, you know, blues and some Willie Nelson and Elton John and throwing some Queen and Alice Cooper and I'm good. But I love like black metal and death metal and thrash metal and I love that stuff because much like jazz, it's very, very different and moody and can like taunt you in so many different ways. You know, a lot of people think it's noise. Well, the people that think it's noise, it should be easy for them to ignore.
Right.
So if a song is great, any kind of music should be extremely difficult to ignore. If it's bullshit, not speaking to you, you should be like, oh, is there a song on? I don't even hear that. You know, it should be literally something that's not a language that you understand. Yeah,
absolutely. So you said you guys were ahead of your time lyrically and musically, right? With Watchtower.
Yeah.
Is there any bands you could compare it to that like happened in the time, you know, before, after you guys? What makes you feel that you were ahead of your time?
Well, Watchtower, it's been documented. Mike Portnoy from who was in a band called Dream Theater, but he's not in Dream Theater now. He's in a bunch of different bands, and he plays with jazz guys, and he plays with the most talented musicians in the world. But when he was in Dream Theater, when they were at Berklee School of Music, they got our record and wrote us fan mail. And so Watchtower influenced them to write a certain way, and they were fans of what we were doing because they were similar. There was a band at the same time back then, and this would have been early 80s, early to mid 80s.
Yeah.
There's a band in Canada that's still going. They have like 25 records out or some shit called Voivod, and they're way ahead of their time. apocalyptic, lyrically, musically. Think of it as like Pink Floyd meets thrash music or something, but very innovative and very, but very metal too.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
there's more than that, but a bunch of German bands cite Watchtower.
Yeah, I was just curious, like because obviously you had to have heard. Music and bands that were emulating what you guys did after you did it.
German bands, a lot of German thrash bands that were not really anything like Watchtower also cited us as an influence just because of the energy.
Wow.
The
what was the energy like? Madness?
Well, off the hook and just crazy, super tight. Here's a scenario that's highly popular when you talk about Watchtower is all of the instruments falling down the stairs, super fast, high speed, but in time.
Whoa.
It's a bit of a trippy concept.
With singing over it.
I'm about it.
Good luck.
I'm about it.
You see what I mean? That's pretty powerful when you kind of think about it as like as super dumb as that or as genius as that. And I don't know where we stood because we were still kids in high school writing that shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is like what? So
I wasn't doing anything that good in high school.
Well, neither was I.
Well,
I was lucky to be there is what it was. I learned a lot from those Watchtower guys.
You say you're lucky to be there, but I was told that you've put music first from an early age, and maybe
no
not
doubt.
Still with with you being married or whatever, but definitely from an early age you put music first. Was that a conscious decision, or did it just happen that way?
I have 3 brothers who were major influences on me at an early age. Even my younger brother would bring home records that his friends turned on to him that I hadn't heard yet. Hey, have you heard this? I mean, my younger brother turned me on to Judas Priest and AC/DC, 2 of my favorite bands of all time, because they're sort of like proto-metal. They're like forefathers of something that we didn't see coming when you think about it like that. I feel, and this is my younger brother. He's only a couple of years younger, but hey, have you heard this? And I'm like, what? Moving my Kiss record over to put this on. I'm like, holy crap.
Do you remember your first AC/DC song?
I think the first AC/DC record I heard was If You Want Blood, You Got It, and it's a live record. Oh. It's a live record. And I think I got that right around the same time as Highway to Hell. So it's a little bit late, and then I worked my way backwards. It was like a year later, Back in Black came out, which Bon Scott had passed away. And, it's like, how are these guys going to, oh, shit, I guess they got a singer overnight, But that's another show. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but those are, And then my older brothers, Joe and Mitch, their record collection, I was like, whoa, what is this? They would go to school, and I wasn't in school yet. I'm just a little bitty dude, but I had a record player. So I'd sneak into their room and listen to their records, and I learned a lot. I mean, they had like really cool stuff. That what you guys might not know. A band called Moxie. This band from Ohio called The Gods. Moxie is a Canadian rock band, kind of Zeppelin style, and The Gods were this kind of like Southern biker rock, but kind of heavy. But anyway, just stuff like that. And like, so music was around all the time at my house, even though my younger brother started singing. He would be okay with me correcting, if that's what you want to call it, singing, if that's what you want to call it. Because he's like a hardcore punk rock singer.
Yeah.
He's rad. He's like the satanic football coach. That's his vocal style.
Yeah.
The evil drill sergeant. Yeah.
I feel like there's one of those at every high school,
Oh, yeah.
I actually do have one. So, going back to your days in, like, Watchtower, how was it, like, composing with those guys, and how did that translate to Dangerous Toys?
Oh, I have some.
Because there's like a grand aspect to Dangerous Toys than some of your counterparts. You know, it kind of adds to, like you said, like technical thrash is like kind of prog, quote unquote. You know,
Yeah.
you can get
Progressive
further.
metal, sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, how much did that help make some aspects of the toys like more grand than
Well,
most?
like I said, I learned a shit ton of just how to be in a band really from the Watchtower guys, because we rehearsed like it was our reason, like it was we needed, like we have to breathe air. We rehearsed probably 3 or 4 times a week. We probably drove Billy White's parents completely insane. Because it was in the house in Billy's bedroom, which was right next to the kitchen, which is right next to the living room, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, oh my God. So that'll give you an insight on somebody in the band has to have the most awesome parents in the world when you play music as insane as that, right? So, to your question, the idea behind these guys writing songs that were, obviously I've used plenty of descriptions about how the music, what styles the music sort of covered.
But you guys have a reputation to actually own that title yourselves too. Like all the descriptions you said.
Well, maybe. I mean, it was called like jazz metal or space metal. And I mean, heavy metal magazines would get the record to review it and write a review of the record. And they didn't know where to put it. Is this really metal? What is this? Because I hear all these odd time signatures, and is this like jazz? What the hell is this? So, an easy way out would have been Rush on Speed. But they mean old Rush. They mean like, Hemispheres and 2112 in a blender, sped up. So Rush is already kind of fast, So anyway, the songwriting, to your question, and how it was for me personally, and then me going to almost an entire genre of rock music overnight. I like the question, but here's the scenario. Here I am, like an 18 or 19-year-old kid, and I'm listening to this mind-boggling, hey, we wrote a new song, come over, we got lyrics, and they hand me this, something like that, and it's got lyrics handwritten on it, and there's lines between each section, like a first verse, bridge, second bridge. It's not, intro, verse, chorus, solo, breakdown, chorus, outro, like, sometimes it was odd, just super, super odd. So anyway, the maps of the songs were not cohesive sometimes. It would be like, okay, here, and I've got my microphone and this piece of paper, and they go, I'm going to tap on your foot when I want you to start singing, and I'm going to tap on your foot when I want you to stop singing. So they would start the fucking song, and they're just ripping, right? And they're going, and I'm like, no idea what notes I'm going to sing. I'm just going to try to fit all of these cool, really well thought out, incredibly intelligent-minded, usually had to do with social fears or current events. Like we wrote about Chernobyl, we wrote about war themes, we wrote about nuclear stuff, it was crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Computer stuff. Would have been in 1983 we're writing this shit. Okay, so.
It's insane.
They're handing me, told you. So, they would be ripping this thing, a couple minutes would go by, sometimes less, and they'd tap on my foot, and I would gobbledygook all that shit in there, and I'd get it in there, and I'd try, let's do that again, that was good, let's do it again. They show me again, and I do it, and I finally start to find this, and eventually, some of it was actually melodic.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, here's a cliff, and when I say go, you're going to jump off, and you're going to fucking fly. And that's what it was like. And I had to fit all that shit into these spaces. And that's how I learned how to write songs with Watchtower. Because it was not rock and roll.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't 1, 4, 5.
Yeah.
There were not these measures of 8 or 4 or 2 that you were sort of like, a 1 and a 2 and it was not, it did not exist.
Yeah.
So going to Dangerous Toys, what I just said did not exist, totally existed. So I had to like basically learn how to, or revisit my roots of AC/DC and straight ahead rock and roll stuff to sort of, and of course I never stopped listening to rock and roll. I mean, if you're a member of Watchtower or a death metal band or something, you don't sit around and listen to death metal or technical metal or music or jazz all the time. You're probably listening to easy listening, slow, or silence and reading a book because your head is with math and destruction and it's too much.
Yeah. So take a break.
So it was interesting by way of that sort of like change and attack of the math of what I was doing vocally. At the same time, it completely helped me because I could write some pretty rad, if I don't say so myself, melodies and stuff.
Yeah.
Some fun, cool, a lot of the toy stuff is, there's only 2 or 3 tempos and we do a shuffle and we do a shuffle, we do a straight, and we do what I call a banger, which is not very fast, like a plodding Motorhead song or something, but
yeah.
Toys is not fast, but it's not slow. No. It's got bite. No, never mind.
This is the next part. It's basically I just ask you, like acoustic or electric, which I'm pretty confident I know the answer on that one. But just give me like the quickest answer that comes to mind,
Okay, go.
Tylenol or ibuprofen?
Tylenol.
Okay. Why is that? Works better?
There's no reason. That's just what's on the shelf right now. I have both.
Yeah. Facebook or Instagram?
Unfortunately, Facebook.
Yeah. Is it unfortunate because it's the older one?
Who are you calling old? Yeah. And I just feel like I can't. I don't know. I'm not very good at Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not. I can't figure it out. There's just too. I can't. Well, I'm always asking my friends who are older than me who live on there, well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How did you do that? What is that? I mean, it's like going to school. You have to go to school again?
Mm-hmm. No go.
I hate school.
Coffee or tea?
I don't coffee.
Coffee all the way?
Some?
If you want to share my straw,
No.
I would highly advise against it.
Smart man.
Big venue or a small one?
Any venue, as long as there's at least one person there to enjoy the songs.
Uh-huh.
Because the songs don't sing themselves, and that person standing there, they know that.
That's cool. That's a good answer. I was gonna say boots or tennis shoes, but I see you have leather Converse, which I've never seen before.
Really?
That's pretty unique.
I have, this is probably too much information, but I have like about 8 pair of these.
Oh.
And some of them, the soles are just like paper thin, but I can't get rid of them. They're leather.
Yeah.
So it's like the tops of them it's leather. It's hard as nails. It's tough.
You order them online or what?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got these for Christmas. I get a pair like every couple of years.
That's pretty sweet.
My wife. Actually, I just had a birthday, so I got these for my birthday.
Nice. That's awesome.
And I wore cowboy boots for many, many years. I wore combat boots on stage a lot, cowboy boots on stage a lot, but fucked up my feet.
Yeah.
So I actually wore Dr. Scholl's, like some correction.
Those are foot savers. Those are foot savers.
Yeah, totally. And I loved those. And they were black, of course. So I was kind of styling with the Dr. Scholl's.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I did that for a couple of years. And then I started wearing these Converse again. And I was like,
you're on it.
I was like, this is saved me.
Nice.
So I just stick with this. And my feet are fine for pushing 60 years old.
Good stuff. You don't look a day over 40.
Be careful.
40.
I just turned 57. So
nice.
I'll take it. I'll take it because I don't want to go back.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't either.
No.
Last one here. Football or soccer?
No.
Baseball?
No.
UFC or boxing?
No. I have to think about what those are when you say UFC.
Tennis or golf?
No. No, I'm not. Do I look like Sporty Spice?
Nothing. You got none. You don't like on a Sunday afternoon? Don't put on a football game? Nothing like that?
Well,
what about Super Bowl? You could
say
Bowl?
You could say every afternoon is a Sunday afternoon in my life.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, because I'm always working on something, or you know, it's like every day's the weekend because I'm still working on the weekends. Too.
Okay, so that one doesn't count then. Last one.
No Sporty Spice.
Fender or Gibson?
Some people might think that's a character flaw.
No way.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Like Sporty Spice. The funny thing is my wife will put on golf because it's long and quiet and boring.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it. And it's kind of cool because there's a science to it. Just like
golf.
Every sport has a science to it. But golf is interesting because it's lines and it's the elements.
Yeah.
It's lines. I like that. It's math. It's a little bit of math.
Yeah.
Which I'm terrible at, but I'm interested in it.
Me and you both.
It's weird, right?
Fender or Gibson?
Gibson.
Nice. SG, right?
Huh?
Is it the SG? Like if you
I love the SG. I have a couple of Flying Vs.
Okay.
I have an SG. I have two SGs. Not the ones I got from Bill 1,000 years ago.
Yeah,
dude, I've known your dad a long time.
I know. I've known you for a long time.
Well, I knew your dad before you were
even born.
Glint in the eye.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
I was so happy to do this interview because, like I said, like some of my earliest memories involve you. So it's seriously a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you guys are welcome. It's what the best part is that I know you and I love you very much, and I know these guys. And
it's good to know you still love me after the interview too.
I know. No, it was fine. You did
great. Good, yeah. I was
he did great, right?
Happy to know. I mean,
half the time you just fucking sat there while these guys worked.
I know. What the fuck was that?
These guys asked more questions than you did.
Yeah, well, they had to, and it went on there.
No, you did great. It was
thank
awesome.
you. I appreciate it so much, man.
Of course.
It was awesome.
Good times.
Sweet.